Los Angeles, 1947, the golden age of Hollywood. A city of bright lights, endless dreams, and whispered secrets. Every night, neon signs flickered above crowded theaters while jazz and swing poured from smoky bars. But beneath the glow of glamour, there were shadows. Dark alleys where hope often died, and the pursuit of fame could lead to tragedy. It was here, in this city of contradictions, that one of America's most infamous unsolved murders would unfold. The victim, a 22-year-old aspiring actress named Elizabeth Short. The world would remember her not by her real name, but by a chilling title given by the press, the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth's life. Elizabeth Short was born in 1924 in Boston, Massachusetts. By all accounts, she was a striking young woman, pale skin, jet black hair, and piercing blue eyes. Friends described her as charming, mysterious, and always chasing something bigger than herself. Like so many young women of her generation, Elizabeth was drawn to Hollywood. She dreamed of becoming a star, of seeing her name in lights. But the reality was harsher. Elizabeth worked as a waitress, moved from apartment to apartment, and survived on small jobs while trying to break into the movie industry. Despite financial struggles, she always dressed in style. Black clothing, red lipstick, and an aura of sophistication that set her apart. That mysterious image earned her a nickname among acquaintances, the Black Dahlia, inspired by a popular film at the time, The Blue Dahlia. The discovery. On the morning of January 15, 1947, in a vacant lot on South Norton Avenue, a local mother and her child stumbled across what they thought was a broken mannequin. But as they drew closer, horror set in. It was no mannequin. It was the body of Elizabeth Short. The scene was unlike anything the Los Angeles Police Department had ever encountered. Her body had been carefully, almost surgically severed in two at the waist. The skin was drained of blood, leaving her pale, ghost-like. Her face had been mutilated, carved with grotesque slashes that gave the illusion of a permanent, haunting smile. The killer had posed her body deliberately, as if to send a message. It was theatrical, sadistic, and terrifying. News of the murder spread instantly. By afternoon, the story dominated headlines across the country. Hollywood's glittering dream city suddenly felt darker, colder, and far more dangerous. The LAPD launched one of the largest manhunts in California history. More than 150 police officers were assigned to the case. Yet from the start, the investigation was plagued with problems. Reporters swarmed the police station, leaking details and even tampering with evidence. Newspapers printed sensationalized stories, painting Elizabeth not as a victim, but as a scandalous woman, exaggerating her lifestyle to sell copies. Dozens of suspects were questioned. Hundreds of false confessions poured in. One man even walked into a police station claiming he had killed Elizabeth, only for detectives to discover he had been in New York at the time. But amid the noise, one suspect stood out. A wealthy Los Angeles doctor named George Hodel. He was a brilliant, eccentric man with a reputation for cruelty and a fascination with surrealist art. Hodel's medical training meant he had the skills to perform the kind of surgical mutilation seen on Elizabeth's body. Years later, his own son, an LAPD detective, would accuse him of being the killer. But despite mounting suspicion, George Hodel was never charged, and the evidence remained circumstantial.
Theories and legacy. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged. Some believe the Black Dahlia was killed by a surgeon or a medical student fascinated by the human body. Others suspect organized crime, a lover's revenge, or even police corruption. Each theory seems possible, yet none can be proven. What makes the Black Dahlia case so haunting is not just the brutality of the murder, but the way it reflects the darkness beneath Hollywood's golden age. A young woman chasing dreams in a city built on illusions, only to become a symbol of its nightmares. Elizabeth Short's story was twisted by the press into a lurid spectacle. But behind the headlines, she was a daughter, a friend, a woman who simply wanted more from life. And her killer, whoever they were, remains free, a ghost in Los Angeles's history. Closing. Nearly 80 years later, the Black Dahlia remains America's most infamous unsolved murder. Books, films, and documentaries continue to explore it, each one adding to the myth but never uncovering the truth. The case is officially cold, but the shadow it left on Hollywood has never faded. Perhaps that is why the story endures, because the Black Dahlia is more than just a murder mystery. She is a reminder of the fragile line between dreams and nightmares, between the dazzling lights of Hollywood and the darkness lurking just beyond them. And somewhere out there, perhaps the answer still exists, buried in forgotten files, hidden in the memories of the dead, or waiting in the shadows to be found.